Hey fellow flowers, Violet here, and welcome back to part 3 of the clownfish tutorial. So in the first part we made the nose, in the second part we changed up the colors and switched it to orange, and then in this next part we're going to be switching to white, then orange, then white, then orange, and we'll wrap this whole thing up. So the first part that we have to do is we have to drop a string. So if you recall in the last video we were working from all these orange strands. And so first we're going to work on doing 8 straight stitches. Okay, so we can gently pull all of this together. And after 8 stitches, we'll be on our 9th stitch. And at this point, before you pull your 9th stitch tightly together, we want to actually pull out 2 of the strands that are across from each other to effectively drop a string. And this will help our body to kind of round out and start getting a little bit slimmer as we approach the tail portion. So I had 8 strings. I did 8 stitches with those 8 strings. And then on my 9th stitch, I dropped a strand and I went down to 7. And so I'm pulling this tightly together now. And you'll see that those central strings are kind of resisting that. But if I do another stitch here, everything should fall into place a little bit more nicely. And you'll see that the body starts getting a little bit tighter. Okay, and then from here, we'll just tighten this all up and we'll do one more stitch for a total of 10 in this section. And then I'll change all the colors to white just as we did before. So here's what that white looks like. And the procedure for that is the exact same as when we changed from the white to the orange. So I chose not to show that part just for the sake of time. But now we are weaving with these white strands in, and you will notice that I have 8 white strands that I put in here as opposed to 7, and that's just because the thickness of the orange strings was a little bit larger than, or I should say width. The orange strings are a little bit wider than the white strands, so when I switched the colors, it looked like I was going to need another strand so that there would be a little bit more of a slope to the back of the fish. So if you need to add 8 or if you need to add 7, depending on what strings you're using, go ahead and do that. But you'll see now I'm just weaving these white strands in, and from here I just need to do a couple of stitches. So we're going for 3 straight stitches, and then on my 4th stitch I will drop a strand just as I did before, and then we'll do 2 more stitches after that, so a total of 6. So 1, 2, 3, drop a strand on the 4th, and then do 5 and 6. So just so you can see what that looks like, I'm wrapping up that 4th stitch now with the white. Just get these last 2 strands in here. And I had 8 strings, but now I will take out 2 of these strands kind of towards the middle. So we'll push this one out on the left, and then on the right we'll pull this one out. And now we went from 8 strands back down to 7, and I can pull this all together now. Okay, so after dropping that strand, we'll go ahead and do 2 more stitches to lock everything in place. So again, for this segment, there should be about 6 stitches. So the first 3, then on the 4th we dropped, and then we did 2 more. And very briefly, this is kind of what it's starting to look like now. You'll see that the body is starting to slope down a bit. But I do need to do just 1 more stitch here to wrap up this white section of the body. And then I'm going to switch all the strings again, just as I did in the last video. So we'll switch back to orange after this. So before we add or change any strings, you just want to make sure that you pull all of those strands as tightly as possible, and then we'll just leave them there so that they can rest as we go and add the strings for the next segment. Now, my sincerest apologies, I don't think I had the camera recording for this next segment because I can't find the video file, but you can see from the body and the shape of the clownfish that after this last section, we would have wound up with 7 strands on our white. And then for the next segment of the orange, I only added 6 strands, and that's to, again, kind of help this body slope downwards. So I went from 7 down to 6, so I only have 6 orange strands there for that tail portion. And then I dropped 2 throughout it and then wound up with 4. So I do have the footage for changing from the 4 orange strands down to those 3 white strands on the tail portion here. So let's go ahead and show that. As mentioned, I have 3 white strands, which I'm going to be adding in, and I'll be replacing those 4 orange strands that I had from before. And it's okay that this is a little bit more narrow because, again, we're making the tail at this point, and we want it to be a little bit more thin. So I'll start off by making my 2 primary loops with those orange strands, and then I'm just feeding in the white strings. So I push the white strand underneath the 2 orange loops of the main strings, fold it in half, and then weave them over and under those primary loops, just as if these were the orange strands, except they are white. So I'll find the midpoint of this one, and then this left strand goes over the first orange loop and underneath the right, and this one will go over that right and underneath the left. And I can pull this all tightly together, and you'll see that there I have 3 new white strands in place, and this is forming that little tail section. So once those strands are added in, I want to go ahead and do 4 more stitches so that this segment of the tail has a total of 5. So the 5 include the one where we added the white, and then 4 more straight stitches. And at this point, we're just kind of doing a super brick stitch. So just making those 2 loops with the orange strands and then weaving all of our whites over and under those orange loops. Okay, and then after doing those 5 white stitches of the tail, we want to fan out the tail from this point on. So what I did was I just added 3 more orange strands, and then as I did those orange strands, I added in 2 more strings to finish with a total of 5 on the tail. And for that, that's the same exact procedure that we did in the part 1 of the clownfish when we were making the nose of the fish, where we started out with just a few strings and then added in more. So I recommend going back to video number 1 if you needed a little bit more guidance on how to fan out the tail, or you can just ask me your questions in the comments and I will get to them and answer those as best as I can. Okay, and then once the tail of the fish is getting that kind of fan out characteristic that we are happy with, of course, this whole entire lanyard is kind of just like a test and feel. So if there are sections where you think you needed more strings to get the body to look best, depending on how your tension pulling is, I mean, of course, modify it and make it your own. But finally at the end, I just pulled all of the strings tightly together. As I mentioned, I kind of let strings rest as I went, which is why I didn't trim anything until the end. But once I got to this end point, I just pulled up on the strings a little bit and then tried to trim as close to the body as possible. But there you have it. That's how you make the clownfish keychain. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial and walkthrough series. Of course, if there are any questions, leave them in the comments down below. But until then, keep blooming, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.